A sada će nam se obratiti i voditeljica Svjetske banke, Ureda za Hrvatsku i Sloveniju, Elisabetta CapanneLli.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you very much for having invited the World Bank at this conference. It's a real pleasure to be here, and I want to start by thanking, of course, the organizer for having had us here and actually to bring in the attention to the Port of Rijeka to this very important project. And I want to thank, of course, the representative of the Deputy Minister of the President of the Republic of Croatia and all the universities and the cities of Opatija, Rijeka, and the county. Thank you all for being here. And I want to start by saying really that why the World Bank is around here. We are, first of all, very honored to be able to be at this session. And we have been a partner of Croatia since 1993, but especially we've been a partner of Rijeka, the city, for almost 20 years now. And we have been supporting the transport sector over all these years with more than €500 million of investment in 5 projects, of which 2 are really focused since 2004 on Rijeka. And for about €220 million. So not only we believe in the city and we believe in this is so fundamental for Croatia, but we have put some skin in the game, if you like. Now, why all this focus on Rijeka among all the various things that are needed to be done in the country? The reason is what has been said also earlier on, right? The city lies at the Baltic-Adriatic corridor, and we believe it can truly become the gateway of Central and Eastern Europe, reaching out to countries as Hungary, Poland, Ukraine, and beyond. And it can be even be a bigger destination for the country for business and tourism, and benefit the country and the citizens overall. Now, for this to happen, of course, the ports being such a organic type of infrastructure investment, it's fundamental for the port authority, the city, the private sector, the financiers like us, to work together to adopt an integrated approach to help the port reach its full potential. So let me emphasize, if you like, 3 points at this regard. Now, clearly, Rijeka is the most important port of Croatia. It has now 11 million tons of cargo handled in 2006 and 2/3 of the traffic of Croatia. In addition of being the largest seaport, is also the second economic center after Zagreb, and the 3rd largest city of Croatia after Zagreb Split. The container traffic has increased over 50% between 2011 and 16, and we are happy that we have been able to contribute to that through the investment that we have provided in the port. And this, the total container traffic of the port of Rijeka placed the city and the port at the same level of the port of Ravenna in Italy. Now, the second point I want to make is that the economic benefits that are associated with the well-functioning ports lower the cost of trade and thus help generate added value and employment for the whole country. Now, sometimes I always ask my team, to whether this is fully realized, the importance of port in the rest of the country. So we have, estimates, for example, from OECD that 1 ton of port throughput is associated with $100 of economic value added, and 1 million tons of extra port throughput helps generate around 300 jobs. So the benefits of the port spillover to other areas can be enormous. And of course, they go well beyond the region, the area, the city. As we know from many other countries, the importance of ports really influence the capital city, for example, like we know of Marseille in France as a major importance for Paris. So developed ports really lead to development of countries. direct and indirect benefits of what Rijeka port activity really on the national economy of Croatia can be huge. There are studies, of course, even recent studies that estimate that up to 0.5% of GDP can be generated from Rijeka. If the multiplier effect would be considered, this can be extremely powerful. And in this moment, we are happy with the growth of Croatia, of course, and we're happy for that to be sustained. But 0.5% of GDP for a well-functioning port is something that we ought to be going after. So many countries, as you know, have succeeded in transforming themselves through efficiency investment in ports like China, Singapore, Ireland, and Chile, for example. And I think that, again, a well-functioning port can have great potential for Croatia as well. And I hope that this vision, of course, will be embraced beyond recognition of people around in this room, but it would really become real, and implementation would follow along the way. So another reason why I think it's important to pay attention to this is that competition, as we heard from some of you, of course, is also very high. There are other ports that compete, and there are also other modes of traffic that compete. So it's incredibly important that we do not become complacent. The third point I want to make is that Rijeka depends very much on a well-functioning transport system, and also to a partnership with many, many actors, many of which are here at this conference, to achieve the potential. So the success of the Croatian part of the Rijeka Gateway and corridor depend largely on making sure that all these components can work in harmony. So I'm happy to see that the Minister of Sea Transport and Infrastructure, as of course with the key role that he has in coordinating the efforts of the Port of Rijeka Authority, is also working very much on reforming the road and rail sector, to making sure that they work more efficiently and that all the needed infrastructure happen. And I hope I will be able to say that they have to happen fast and on time. The World Bank is supporting, as some of you may know, also the development of the transport corridor and overall of the efficiency of the corridors by working on reforming the road sector, making sure that the motorways are self-sufficient, but also that they operate more efficiently. And we will, of course, improve and support the maintenance of the network as needed. We are also supporting very much the rail sector, which unfortunately today we have to admit is a bit of the weak link to the competitiveness of the Rijeka as a gateway. We're working towards efficiency improvement of the management of the companies, as well upgrading the system, helping it to attract investment and putting our own investment in it. So again, this is an area that we continue to focus on. But it is also very important that we emphasize the partnership at the city level. And here we are happy, to see that there is really support for many of the ideas of making Rijeka Port the real potential port city interface that it's important, including with universities that are also co-sponsoring this conference. But I think that it is important that the city also understand that port can be reconfigured, reforms can be achieved with the support of the state, so that industrial operation can be moved, for example, from the waterfront, making room for business, for more investment, for technology parks, citizens, and tourists. So a lot can be done, basically, if a common vision is developed further in Rijeka and with other parties and with the government ministries and the private sector. So again, to conclude, I just want to reiterate how proud and happy and glad that the World Bank had the opportunity to contribute to Rijeka's current performance and to further support the potential. The port does look dramatically different from what it was before. We started with our investment, both to the east and west of the city center. the 2 container terminal, the extended one, Brajdica, and the new deep sea Zagreb facility, which will be, construction will be finished soon, are really a good thing to see. I used to be here. I came here about 8 years ago when we were still talking about the interconnection. So I was very happy to be able to return to Croatia and as the representative of the World Bank based in Zagreb, and actually to see not only the container finished but connected and operating at. And I really look forward, to see that the strategic importance of the port by the ministry will ensure that the road and railway connections to Zagreb terminal, the deep sea container terminal, be fully continued and accelerated. So we are in a good place, but we don't want to lose time. So again, as I said, I hope that we will all recognize every day in our decision making that there is a major, Puerto Rijeka is a creator of major value added for the whole of Croatian economy. And we at the World Bank really believe in this vision and will continue to be part of this adventure to support you going forward. Many thanks. Thank you very much.